My name is Daniela from Sewing for a Living, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how I made this adorable ladybug costume that won us the first place in a costume contest. For this project I'm going to use some red, lightweight jersey knit fabric. This means it stretches and cotton usually shrinks, so you might want to pre-wash it. But if you do, make sure not to iron it before sewing because it would roll up at the edges and make the sewing a lot harder. And then some black blush. I prefer it because it is thick and heavy and the textile glue that I use for applying the spots won't go through the fabrics. Now that I have all the pieces from the pattern cut, I start to pin where I'm going to sew first. That would be the vertical seam on the head, shoulder seams on the bodice, and around the wings, leaving an opening at the top so we can insert the foam rubber in later. Make sure to put the fabric right sides together. After the shoulder seams are done, it's time to attach the sleeves. In this pattern, I've included some gathering at the center of the sleeve. I made it by sewing a bit with the overlocker and then pulling the needle thread so that the fabric gathers. If you don't want to use the overlocker for this, it's perfectly fine to make it on a straight stitch machine. Determine the center of the sleeve and attach it exactly at the shoulder seam. Pin the ends of the sleeves to the arm curve. Start outside in, so if there are some adjustments to be made to the gathering, you can do them and the sleeve matches the armhole exactly. Do this to both sides and then sew the sleeves. Now that we have those nicely gathered sleeves sewn, let's make the side seams of the bodice. I pin both sides, matching the shoulder seams. The upper part of the dress is ready. The next step is to attach the gathered skirt. Attach it, distributing the fabric evenly to both side seams, center front and center back. Now let's attach the binding. First, fold the dress so both shoulder seams match. This way you can measure how long should the binding be in order to hold the neck opening without gathering it too much. To determine how much binding I'm going to need, I align it with the neck opening and cut it 2 fingers shorter. That would be 3 centimeters or 1.2 inches. I found out that this would work for me in any size, so feel free to use your fingers. Close the binding tape and start pinning to both shoulder seams, center front and back. The binding should be tighter than the neckline, so pull the fabric a bit when joining them so they match. The binding is ready, and all there is left to do is hem the sleeves and the skirt. I chose just to clean the edges of the sleeves with the serger. For the skirt, I used cover stitch machine. You can make the hems as you prefer. Just make sure to leave the appropriate hem allowance according to your choice. I made this pocket as a final touch. It's included in the pattern, so you can add it or not. It's up to you. The dress is ready, so let's make the hat and the wings. We already made the vertical seam on the hat. Now we must fold it by half, wrong sides together. Make sure it is nicely folded by half. Then we are going to cut at the side that opens so that we get the desired form. Adjust the hat so that the seam is at the back center and start drawing a curve on the top. Make sure it is even on both sides and that it is not twisted. To be sure, you can fold it once more at the center and cut all layers of fabric together. This way it will be even on both sides. Pin all four layers of fabric together and add the seam. Make sure to lock the seam at the beginning and the end. Now turn the hat inside out and start attaching the antennas. I used hand stitching to insert them. So, where the hat is going to be folded, and then once more where the seam ends. This is the hat I made for the first costume. It should look something like this when ready. The final piece of this costume are the wings. Start with the band that goes around the chest of the kit to hold the wings tight enough. First, sew both ends of the band. Then sew the long side, leaving an opening in the middle so you can turn the band inside out. Cut a pair of wings from the foam rubber and make sure there are not some sharp edges because they are going to show through the fabric. Now put the foam rubber wings into the fabric once. It would require some time to adjust them. Pin the band to the opening of the wings so they are attached to it. Once again I used the overlocker to do it, but you can use any stitch that tolerates stretching on a regular machine. After the wings are sewn to the band, the only thing left to do is glue the spots to the wings. Any type of textile glue would do. This is the end result. You can download the free pattern on the website. If you like this video tutorial, subscribe to the channel or follow me for more tutorials and free patterns. Thank you very much for watching.